Sorry, guys, I do not know what happened. My live just canceled, like from my phone. So I had to. Okay. Hey, Kat. Okay. Let's see this time. Hope we're good. Lives are crazy. You just never know what's going to happen.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I don't know what happened with the first one. Oh my goodness.
No problem. How are you?
Good. This I was thinking like this is amazing because I haven't seen you in a while. You're all the way over in Oman. I'm here in South Carolina and we get to do this.
Yes, it
It's a
like I was thinking how sad it was I haven't seen you in real life in a long time, but at least this is so fun.
I know. I know. What season are you in,
Hi, Kat.
Calvin? What?
Um,
I just
of
adjusted it.
weather.
Oh, did you bring it up?
Yeah, like we're just getting into fall here in South Carolina, and so it's been cold. But what about where you are?
Um, it is supposed to start turning from summer to fall at this point. And fall means, it's just high 90s in the
Oh
day and
my
maybe
gosh.
maybe high 80s at night, but we
No.
took a turn and August started cooling down, but then September has been scorching. So it's
Really?
still like 110 in the day, 95 at night. So, I mean, it is,
Oh,
yeah,
wow. Okay.
hot.
We never really see that here in South Carolina. Maybe like 90, 95, I
Yeah,
would say max, you know?
yeah.
Wow. So, Kat, me and you met in Hawaii, I don't know,
Yes.
10 years ago or maybe even more. And we've both lived all over the world in many places. And you're in Oman in the Middle East. How did you get there?
Oh my gosh. It's so fun. You know what? Let me turn off this lamp. It's making me look weird. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Okay. Hopefully that's better. Um, So actually, I was doing tons of traveling, teaching, and speaking, motivational speaker, um, and traveling around the world. And I loved different cultures. I loved different people groups and languages. And so with my job, I was able to travel so much, and I knew that I was also able to live outside of America if I wanted to. So just trying to figure out timing with all of that. And I actually had a dream one night, which I feel like was from God, talking
Wow.
about this place called Oman, which I'd never heard about. And so to me, I was like, that's a good enough sign. It's a good enough sign that
Yeah.
God is leading me actually to leave America and live overseas in the Middle East. And so um, came here, and I've lived here now 5 years, which is really crazy.
Wow. 5 years. That is a long time.
I know.
That's amazing.
Yes.
And what do you do? What do you do in Oman?
Yeah. So um, what is really fun as well, I got married while I was living over here. And so my husband and I now, we run a travel tourism company. And for people that don't know about Oman, it is absolutely gorgeous. It's really beautiful here. There's ocean and mountains and desert and city,
Wow.
villages. And so we bring college students from around the world into Oman, and we do small language programs with them. We take them all around, they get to meet people. So we do a lot of that. But then I as well
Yeah.
am a life coach, and I'll be starting up my new life coaching business in early January. But I have a huge passion for seeing uh, people, but love working with women, get freedom from anxiety and really
Mm,
get to know who they are. So I do a ton of coaching with people here.
that is amazing. I hope that
Yeah.
I could be on one of your tours around Oman. I've never been. I would love to go. Your pictures look incredible. It looks like a
Yes.
beautiful place.
Yes, we'd love to, of
Wow.
course.
Wow. And life coaching, that is amazing. Many
You
people
know
don't
about that?
know. Yes, because I'm a life coach as well, but many people don't know what a life coach is, what a life coach does. Could you just touch on that for a minute?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to. So, um, you could have a life coach for absolutely any topic in your life, of course.
Yes.
I really love to focus on our emotional wellness. I love to focus on walking in the power of our God-given identity. And I
Mm-hmm.
also love to talk about how to get healing in relationships and how to communicate well. So, what
That's
I do
amazing.
with my life coaching is sit with people. As a life coach, you don't want to be the one laying out this plan of what they have to do. You really want to get to hear from the person, their
Mm-hmm.
dreams, their hopes and desires. And so I'll sit with people and learn, where do they want healing in their own life? Where do they want to see breakthrough, where they feel like they're stuck? And
Yeah.
walk together through processing out places of hurt in their lives, places where they feel stuck spiritually and emotionally. And honestly, I feel like I don't have super crazy special one, like 5-step plans. I
Yeah.
love asking questions and I love listening, so that's a big part of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, absolutely. I would agree. That's amazing. And I just saw that my friend Clem, he just came in and I just started learning French. And I know you have been on this journey of learning Arabic for 5 years or more, maybe.
Yes, yes,
I
five
would
years.
love to hear about your journey. How have you done it? Because it seems like just a crazy hard language to learn, really.
Camille, so I was the kind of person who always like wanted to learn a language, but
Yeah.
never forced to. Living in the States, never had to. Um, I should have learned some Spanish in high school, but I skipped that class.
High school language classes in America, do they
They're
help? I don't know. I don't
they're
think
not
so.
good.
No.
So I had heard that Arabic was a really difficult language, but I didn't even have anything to compare that to except
Yeah,
like the tiny bit of
totally.
Spanish.
Yeah.
Um, so I have been learning for 5 years, and I would say I can sit and talk with anyone at this point one on one. We can talk about most subjects, and but oh my gosh, Arabic is so enormous and it is so
Yeah.
difficult. I will be learning it the rest of my time living here. So
Wow. Wow.
um, it started out, I did a full-time 2-year language program. So that was about a 40-hour a week, uh,
No way. And you did that for 2 whole years.
2 years.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh. Oh my
So
gosh.
it was
That's
exhausting.
incredible.
It was
Yeah.
exhausting.
I have
Um, it,
never done
oh yeah.
anything that extensive. Like, seriously, I think we did 3 months of school in Mexico for 4 hours a day. And I was like, after the 3 months, I was like, I can't do any more school. That's amazing. 2 years. Wow. Wow.
I mean, there were a lot of naps.
Yeah.
I
Because you get so
never in my life.
tired, right? Like your brain literally is like, I can't do it anymore. You need to sleep. Yeah.
Yes. So, part of that 2-year language program was, it was about 20 hours in the classroom, but then we really were expected to do about, 5 hours of homework outside of that, and then about 10, 10 plus hours a week of our own um, practice, so out on the streets,
Wow.
homes. And so it was about 40 hours a week
Wow.
of speaking, writing, reading, listening. And for those that aren't familiar with the Arabic language, it's actually two. There's two languages in one. One is a written language, which all the newspapers will be in. The important books that they have in Arabic languages are all written in this written language, which you have to learn. But then there's a spoken language as well, which the grammar is different, the vocabulary is different.
No. I had
So
no
that's
idea.
partly,
I did not
yes,
know. Wow. So you're basically learning the two languages.
yes,
Oh
yes.
my goodness.
And then, another, and I'm sure you've encountered this, Camille, you've lived abroad, but there are, when I say hundreds, hundreds of dialects in Oman as well, because every tribe has its own set of vocabulary. And so, you know, part of what makes it so exhausting is I could be at my next door neighbor's house on the right, and I could understand her dialect and we could talk. And then maybe the next day I'm at my neighbor's house on the left and I could have no idea what she's talking about.
Oh my gosh. You're my hero cat. Seriously. That's amazing.
Oh, it's hard.
Yeah.
But then actually,
was it easier?
Oh.
I was going to ask you, but you can share. I can ask you after. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, there was a few other things that I've done, because after those 2 years, that's just the foundation, you know? And so there's been a lot since then. I tried doing an online tutor. That didn't work for me very well. So then my husband and I started with, I'm sure you're familiar with the GPA program, which is the growing participant approach, where you learn like maybe a baby would. And so we tried that approach. That was amazing. Loved that. We did that for a year. And then COVID hit and we weren't able to meet with our tutor anymore. So the last thing that we've been doing since, you know, the last 7 months with coronavirus is we love reading the Bible. We're both Christians. And so we've been reading the Bible every day together in the Arabic language.
Wow.
That has improved my reading skills, you know, internally and my comprehension. So that's a snapshot of my journey.
That's amazing. Is it harder, do you think, like the written form or the spoken form for you?
The written form. The grammar is so complex.
Okay, so it's actually easier for you to speak Arabic than to write it.
Absolutely. They say the spoken dialect, they say there is no grammar, and that's not entirely true, but it kind of is. There's almost very little grammar that's required to speak the spoken language, and so you can just kind of throw a bunch of words in a sentence and people are kind of like, oh yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So you're able then, you feel like you're able to communicate with people, have full-on conversations, hang out, like you feel pretty confident in that scheme?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, if anyone wants to talk about politics, maybe I'd probably be like totally lost.
Right, because it's a whole new vocabulary that you need for that.
Yes. Yeah, but if we want to sit down and talk about our day and our trials and our joys, absolutely I can do that. My hope, I still need to improve, but I would love to do my life coaching bilingual. I'd love to be able to coach those who speak Arabic and those who speak English.
That's amazing. I have done some life coaching in Spanish, and I feel like it's a whole nother level, you know, because the vocabulary, the words that you need, it goes so much deeper. You're really like getting into people's hearts, you know?
Wow.
Yeah.
How did you, I have a question for you. How did you learn the vocabulary that you would need for life coaching?
So it was really by doing it. And I was coaching, the people that I was coaching, they also knew some English. And so I would be like, how can I ask this in Spanish so that it makes sense and I don't confuse you, you know?
Amazing.
So then they would help me and then I'd be like, okay, now I know how to ask that in Spanish. So it was by actually doing it. Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of what I thought I'd have to do as well.
Yeah. Just get some people that you trust and that know English and just kind of go about it that way. Yeah.
Amazing.
How has learning Arabic, living in Oman, how has it changed your life? Because I'm sure you're not the same as you were 5 years ago.
Yeah. You know, everyone talks about culture shock, and I probably had a vague idea of what that was with my short-term travels that I had done before moving here. And I think a lot of people described culture shock in terms of, you know, the food is different and there's traffic and it's hot and, you know, that of course is part of how you change. But really, I would say I'm changed because my worldview has changed. And you grow up in the US, and it forms you, and as it should, you know, and totally fine. But to be able to see how the world looks from the eyes of a shepherdess, a woman who is a shepherd in the middle of the desert, you know, it changes you. Or to hear the way that these young people are growing up with the traditional values of their parents, but also with this modern world that they're exposed to through social media, and just getting to sit with them and hear their struggles, and realize, I think it's like I want to be changed by people's trials and their joys. And so I would say culture shock for me, you know, in the beginning probably was, I don't know how to buy milk. But really, that quickly developed into, wow, my whole world is flipping upside down, and I have to adjust. You know, I wrote down some examples of things that have been challenging, but that have led to really beautiful things for me.
I would love to hear some of those.
Yeah, gosh. You know, if you move into a new cross-cultural scenario, you're misunderstood, and it's not always because of the language. I wrote down how many times, here's like a perfect example of Omani hospitality. They have this Arab ability to make you feel so welcomed and so honored, and they will you know, kill the goat for you, and greet you and love you, and fresh fruit. So you know that hospitality is important here. So for the first 3 years, anytime I'd have friends come over, I would try to make this beautiful spread of food, and they would never eat it. And I was like, this is so strange, you know? And so I would ask people, trying to always figure out what's going on. Well, in the US, if someone lays a spread out on the table and says, okay, let's eat, you have freedom to grab what you want. Well, here, as the host, what actually is the most honoring is if I make the plate for someone, and if I give it to them, and it's another demonstration of my own care and hospitality. And so all those years, I was actually, when I was trying to be loving, I was actually being very snobbish by saying, this is just for show. All this food is just for you to look at, but you can't actually have it. You know, so it's things like that.
But obviously you had no idea.
I had no idea. But it was, again, like friends that would explain this stuff to me. And so I feel like that was so frustrating in the beginning. And I felt so confused, and I felt offended. Why is no one eating my food? But now it has actually taught me another layer, a depth of how to be loving and hospitable, and a value of that. So anyway, that's how I've been changed.
That's amazing. And I know, so you've talked about some of the some of the best things about Oman, maybe some of the harder things. Where do you see yourself in, say, like the next few years? What would you like to see happen in your own life in Oman?
Oh, that's an amazing question.
Thank you.
You know, in the last year or so, you know, COVID has made everything so weird. So of course, this is all kind of before COVID.
Yes.
But I was starting to host a lot of my life coaching seminars on university campuses, and I loved it so much. I love that age group. I love it's like they're kind of out of their family's home, and so they're trying to start to figure out who am I, and what do I want. Love getting to come in as a life coach at that phase and get to talk with people about who they want to be, and what they want to do, and what do they want to believe. And
Yeah.
So, I would love to, in 10 years, I'd love to still be living in Oman, working with university students.
Yeah.
My husband and I would love to keep doing some cross-cultural exchanges of bringing students from the US to Oman and from Oman to the US. We would still love to keep doing that. So
That's
that'd be amazing.
amazing. And if somebody wanted to do, say, life coaching with you or a tour in Oman, how could they contact you?
You know, um, my life coaching website and Instagram, they're down right now because they're in construction. So actually, if they just want to contact me through this um, link that you have here, which is put me in your pocket, then I'll at
Okay.
least know how to redirect them. And we'd be happy to. It'd be really amazing.
Yeah. That's amazing. Wow, it's been so fun to chat with you a bit, to learn more about Oman. This is all new to me, really, and Arabic as well. Like, I feel like I learned with you today, Kat. So thank you so much.
Camille, this is absolutely amazing. I checked out your YouTube channel. Of course, I follow you on Instagram, and I know that everyone else is seeing what I'm seeing with you, which is a love of people and a
Mm.
love of culture and languages. And I just want you to know, Camille, like your love is so seen by the world, and we want more of it. So
Oh,
what you're
thank
doing.
you. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Yeah, sending you hugs, and hopefully we can talk soon.
Yes, absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely.
All
All
right.
right,
Love
thank
you, Kat.
you. Bye.
Bye.